In this lesson, students will be able to identify time on an analog clock to the nearest minute. Using skills gained in previous grades, students should be able to correctly identify the hour hand and minute hand on a clock and be able to tell time to the nearest 5 minutes. Today, we will build upon that knowledge to help students be more exact in reading the time to the nearest minute. Your child might remember from second grade that when one hand moves from one number to the next, for example, from 12 to 1, 5 minutes have passed. So now it would be 5 minutes past the hour. When it moves to the next number, 5 more minutes have passed and it would now be 10 minutes past the hour. Let's continue counting by fives and labeling the minutes represented by each number around the clock. If you look at how we've labeled the outside of the clock, it looks a little bit like a number line that has been wrapped around a circle. So let's think of it like a number line. Right now we only have multiples of 5 labeled. However, we can see that there are tick marks in between each of these multiples. What do they represent? Well, they represent the individual minutes, so let's label them. If this represents 0 minutes, then I would label this 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5 minutes is already labeled. So what would the tick mark after the 5 be? A 6. I could label all the way around the clock, but that's not necessary. As long as we understand that each tick mark is counting up by 1 minute, we can find the time to the nearest minute anywhere on the clock. Let's look at the following time. How would your child find out what time it is to the nearest minute? The first thing that they would want to do is find the hour. The hour hand is just past the 6, but not to the 7, so we know that the hour is 6. Next, we need to find the minutes. We'll need to start at 0 minutes or 12 and count by fives to get as close as we can to the minute hand. Starting at 0 minutes, we would count 5, 10, and then we have to stop counting by fives because the next multiple, 15, would be past where the minute hand is located. Now we need to count by ones until we reach the minute hand. We left off at 10. Counting on by ones would take us to 11 and 12. So it is 12 minutes past 6 or 6:12. Let's practice on another example. Look at the following time. Remember, the first thing we need to do is find the hour. The hour hand is past the 4 and almost to the 5, but not quite there yet, so I know the hour is still 4. Now to find the minutes. Let's start at 0 minutes or the 12 and count by fives to get as close as we can to the minute hand. Starting here, we would count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Then we would count on by ones, 36, 37, 38, 39. So it is 39 minutes past 4 or 4:39. Give your child practice using a wide range of times. Throughout the day, ask them to state the time by reading an analog clock and ask them to explain how they figured it out. Our goal today was to identify time on an analog clock to the nearest minute. We accomplished this by first looking at the time and finding the hour. Then, to find the minutes, we counted by fives to get as close to the minute hand as possible, and then counted by ones to reach the minute hand.